Welcome back, my fellow knights. King Wilkes speaking. Kind of blacking out here because number one, couldn't sleep last night, so I'm kind of groggy, and two, just came out of the shower, so I'm kind of wet. I wanted to get some things clear because I was doing some research online, and two of the things that I wished for actually came true for this year. Right? 2017 was supposed to be this big release on plenty of games, and some were supposed to be title exclusive to some certain extent. Now, what they all are is something that I'm going to bring up here in a little bit. Number one, I was watching a couple of YouTube videos on this topic, and they all relate to whether or not PC should have Horizon Zero Dawn. In my perspective, I think that would be an opportunity for us to actually have something that, Nintendo, you know, owns some sort of license to, and aspects of how the game mechanics work. Because, number one, if you've seen the trailers to Breath of the Wild, you'll know what I'm talking about. And for many people who actually watched this video that I've somewhat saw from IGN talking about this, about how there is a certain itch that two of these games can scratch. Number one, the hunting mechanic. You can fight with swords, bows, arrows, anything that you can gather or craft. For Breath of the Wild, it's gathering, because you're basically taking weapons off of your foes from, any given situation of the map. Now, for Horizon Zero Dawn, you're crafting these items rather than collecting them, and you collect them by taking down these metal beasts and taking whatever sort of branch stick or medicine thing that you can get from the wild itself. Now, there has been some debate about this. Would it be released on PC? Now, 2 out of 3 say that it will. That was weird. So, where was I? So 2 out of 3 said it wouldn't happen. The 1% said it wouldn't. The 1% is the teams that put the game together and published it, which is, I forget what the companies were that went and did all of this. I think something includes like Gators or something. I can't remember. There was publishers involved in the licensing of this game. Now, this I can admit. And they even said that this was exclusively for PlayStation. Now, somebody went out of the way as to claim that PC gamers are losing so much exclusives to their so-called systems. But I'm going to prove them wrong. Because it's not PC players that are losing exclusives to other systems. PlayStation, aka Sony, has been losing exclusives. Time after time, this has been proven again and again. Because number one, what was said to be an exclusive turned out to not be an exclusive. And we're not begging for games to be released on PC. It's actually coming to light that it is coming to PC. Number one, we had so many histories with games, especially with PlayStation. And what brought this into discussion was the fact that You know, you had so many games that came from Legacy of Kain. You had so many games that came from Tomb Raider. You had so many games from Final Fantasy. What? Final Fantasy 15 didn't make it over? Wrong again! Because Final Fantasy 15 is coming to Windows Edition soon. And I can prove it. Because we have here the first page of Final Fantasy that came over to Steam. Here we have number 2 of Final Fantasy that came over Steam. Now, as you see right here, this is Final Fantasy 15 Windows Edition. Now, how could that be a Sony exclusive if this is being brought over to Steam? Heck, even Sega was supposed to be an exclusive to their own claims, to their own rights, to their own brand and systems. Yet they sold out to Nintendo because they needed the money. They sold out to Steam because they needed the money. We weren't giving them less credit for that, but it was the right choice because, number one, they made a ton of money by doing so into profit. Because when Sonic the Hedgehog, or the Sonic team rather, joined up with the Mario team and decided to put Sonic in, you know, what was it? Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Smash Bros. Or something like that. And that became a successful game. Now, history shows that Sonic came out with Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, and so on and so forth in the original Sega systems. They ported to Steam, like, very easily. That includes Legacy of Kain games, except for one. That was Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 1. Blood Omen 2 maybe came over. Blood Omen and Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver merged with Defiance. So those two storylines would link up. But we have all the Soul Reaver collection, or the whole of Soul Reaver collection, and we have one of the Blood Omen collection. Which is fine until, you know, Blood Omen comes out with a remake or a remaster, whichever the case. But then there became Resident Evil. You see, Resident Evil was supposed to come out for PlayStation exclusive, but then ported over to Steam, being, well, not only Steam, but Nintendo as well, being that it was a global open broadcast system, which means, especially for 6 and 7, that it was so popular that these games gave their publishers a ton of money. Because that they went global with worldwide systems, rather if it was for PlayStation, Xbox, or Sony, or, PlayStation, Xbox, or PC, sorry, my bad. Still not with it right now. I need more caffeine. We're not losing any exclusives here. Now, here's another thing. Microsoft merged their systems, or console systems, to PC as well. Now, this wasn't so bad since Windows 10 came out. Now, we're also having to play Minecraft more on PC than ever because Xbox is being ported over to PC as well. Now, this is the reason why Halo keeps popping up. Because Xbox One is supposed to have numerous of feedbacks on systems. And not only because systems were very, very, good at, high graphics and such, but PC has been capable of so much more. And I mean so much more. Because we were able to rise the graphics to a higher standard. Even getting our monitors to cooperate with that kind of standard was even mind-blowing. Mind-boggling even. And it's like, people take things way too granted. or too far for granted. And it comes to show that, we're not losing exclusives because we keep gaining some exclusives. Microsoft put Halo and 11 other titles out there for Xbox, and it's being ported on PC. So how are we losing so many exclusives? Just because you've seen just a few indie titles coming over to PlayStation Online does not mean it's coming from PC. No. Games are developed by PC users. Yes, this is a fact. PC creates games, which and then translates to console exclusives. If that. So you have a few details in that quote wrong. And not only that, you misled your title. You've misled your thumbnail. And then you have, what was it? 7.6K subs. And you lied about every single thing in that video. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for PC users, PlayStation would have been out of business by now. Thank you very much. Now, I said all I had to say. I've been peaceful this whole time. I haven't cussed. I haven't lost my mind. Not the slightest. But I did stumble upon some words. Now, let's bring up a few facts about Nintendo, because Nintendo has never crossed over once. Not one time. Because they have a solid system lined up for their whole entire period of games. Ever since, 20 years ago. Even that. Longer even. Okay? So their leading brand was Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Metroid, Pokemon, Star Fox, and many other titles more exclusive to Nintendo. And those titles are still holding strong today. Why aren't they dropping out of the race? Because they still have more to prove. Now, the creators, of those said titles may pass away, but their team still bring on that legend, that story, that story-driven game that brings back so many childhood memories that makes people, want to ask for more, and they never stopped. And I give them credit for that. And I gave so many people credit for what they did in the past as well. For instance, when Kojima was teamed up with Konami, they made some awesome games for Metal Gear Solid. And they still continued through that until Kojima was forced to leave Konami. And no, yes, that is a sore subject to talk about, but let's face the facts. Things happen. But it doesn't change how people view games. Not the slightest. Not for me, at least. And to top it all off, I would like to say, I am raising a community that brings people together, not tear them apart. And what you did was tear them apart. Number one, if you were to build a community, you got to stop being toxic. Number two, if you want to build a community, you have to be clean about things. Be more idealistic, open-minded. Things like that does not come once in a lifetime. It happens every day. Now, to pull that all together is going to take a lot of work because people see things in a different light sometimes. And that's not a bad thing. Some people have a different perspective on what they see rather than what you see. Yes, this is true. This is true for everyone. And not only that, will that change? No, because people will always see it differently. Some may see the same thing, but that only depends on what the topic is, especially in the situation. For me, I saw this a heck of a lot differently. Now, I'll ask this question, not just to you, but to the fans out there watching this. How many people think PlayStation will lose the title to exclusives? How many people think that PC will lose their title to exclusives? Because guaranteed, it's not about exclusives here. It's about how people get money. So that's what this whole debate was about to begin with. Because Sony was in the process of losing money to Xbox, and then Xbox losing money to Steam, or so on and so forth. It's never that case, because people were gathering up in union to make this possible, to make the gaming community successful, to make artists successful, and to make everything just fun for everyone. Not to bicker about how many times people go on and saying, which is the master race. No, it's not working like that. Even though PC is the master race, but that's just me. Like I said, I'm entitled to my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to change your opinions, so on and so forth. But anyway, that's the facts of, what's going on in this situation. But what you think is right or wrong is not based on your decision alone. It's based on everyone else's ideas. If they want to see Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, let it be. That's not up for you to decide. That's up for the players. Now, if the players want to make these companies more money by doing so, let them have it. Who are you to argue? I mean, what's a couple of bucks? You'll be gaining more if you would have ported, like, from different, versions of the game. Like, for instance, having ported PlayStation games over to Steam. That wasn't so hard. Windows Edition for Final Fantasy 15 is just coming out sometime later this year. And it's almost late in the year already, and that thing is coming out soon. And furthermore, whenever it comes to partitions being signed as to global society's request, and I guarantee you it is high demand that this happens. But everybody's just waiting to see this hit market for PCs. Xbox already made it clear. Their systems are going to be required within Windows 10. And I have Xbox on Windows 10. I just need an Xbox controller to play some Xbox games. Heck, I could even get Cortana to open it up for me. Hey Cortana, open Xbox.
All right. Here's Xbox.
There you go. That's all you get. We have Xbox in PC now. We have Steam games on PC. Everything ported from old PlayStation to PC, from old Sega to PC, from God knows where to PC. PlayStation isn't that different. We're not losing exclusives. We're gaining some. Stop acting like PlayStation is the master race. It isn't. Everything is combining into one circle, and that's the players. The players are united. We're not dividing between systems. We are reunited. We can use PlayStation controllers on PC. We can use Xbox controllers on PC. Steam has even made controllers for PC. It's not that difficult. Get your act together, man. Seriously. I'm King Willix. Comment down below what you thought. Peace out.